my lovelies. So as you may notice, I am back in my humble abode in Tennessee, and yeah. And as some of you may know, the classes for my college started on Wednesday. So as a fourth-year commuter student, dear God, help me Lord, I thought I might offer some of my 4 years of knowledge as tips to any new commuter students or people who aren't used to commuting to school. Tip number 1, get to classes early. And that doesn't mean arrive maybe 30 minutes before your classes start. That means get to class early. That means if your class is at 10 or even 11 or 12, get to school at like 8, 8:30, maybe 9. Because once it hits 9:30, it is horrid trying to find parking. And once it hits 10, forget it. Become a vulture. Because that's what everybody else does. Tip number 2, get used to staying on campus. Because if you have a class at like 9 a.m. and your next class isn't until noon, so you're like, okay, I'll just go out and eat with some of my friends and come back. It's not that big of a deal. It is that big of a deal. You're not going to find parking. I promise. Or if you do, you are very lucky. The only day I would even ever entertain the idea of leaving campus and coming back is if it's after 3 p.m. or if it's on a Friday. Because a lot of people don't have classes on Friday. They structure their schedule so that it's just Monday through Thursday. Or sometimes even Tuesday through Friday. But the point is, get used to staying on campus until you are completely done with everything. That means you need to start bringing things to keep yourself entertained, or if you need somebody to come pick you up to take you out to lunch, make plans, make schedule, be prepared, but don't leave campus. Don't give up your parking spot. It's not worth it, I promise. Tip number 3. This one kind of latches onto the last one. It's be prepared. Don't come to school with nothing to do but your homework, or nothing to do but a book, or nothing to do but anything. Bring your laptop, bring a book, bring a portable gaming system, bring something to keep yourself entertained. Because yes, you probably have a lot of homework, but sometimes you get that homework done, and then what? And your friends may be in classes, so you don't have anybody else to hang out with to keep yourself entertained. So bring something to keep yourself entertained. But also, that means make sure you have a rain jacket, an umbrella, and a jacket with you pretty much at all times, because you never know what might happen. And on top of that, make sure you always leave a change of clothing in your car, because I promise you, you'll be thanking me when winter comes and there's a blizzard and you have to stay on campus. Tip number 4. This is for commuters who live more than like 10 minutes from the school, who don't live in like apartments that are right next to the school. This is for the commuters who are like me, who live about half an hour away from campus. Make friends on campus. Because when it comes December and there's a storm that's coming, that's gonna snow, and you're gonna have to stay on campus because you're gonna have to get to classes the next day, you're gonna be thanking me when you know that you have somebody you can stay with, so you don't have to worry about driving home and having to drive back the next day. Tip number 5. Don't be afraid to move your car later in the day. I did say don't move your car at all until you're ready to go, but that's different if you're staying on campus late. If you're staying on campus late, you can move your car into staff parking. Staff parking usually opens up, depending on the school, around 5 p.m. So if you are a commuter and you are having to stay on campus late for some reason or another, then know where all the staff lots are, because you can move your car closer to wherever you're going to be into a staff lot. Tip number 6. No alternative routes to the school. I've run into so many instances where there's a wreck on the interstate, and so everything's backed up, everybody's in a standstill traffic jam, and the only reason I was able to get to class on time is because I knew an alternate route. make sure you learn alternate routes, because if you can't find an alternate route to get to school, you're going to be super late and your teachers are going to be pissed. And tip number 7. Tip number 7. Make sure you know where other commuter parking lots are. Yes, there's always going to be that one that you frequent more often than the others, but you need to make sure you know where all of them are, so that if that one that you frequent more than others somehow happens to end up full on one particular horrid day where you're late or something, you know where others are that you can check for more parking. And on top of that, learn where parking lots are that may not specifically be commuter parking. There are sometimes businesses that are close to the school who know exactly how commuter parking works, so they're willing to let you park in their lots for a class period so that you can go to class. Honestly, sometimes even the best parking lots for wherever you're going aren't even on campus. So just learn where all the parking is so that you don't have to stay to one area in case something happens. Honestly, I think those are all the tips I can give you. If you have any other questions, feel free to ask me in the comment section. Or if you would prefer, my Tumblr ask box is open, and my Tumblr link is down in the description. I hope you all stay safe and have had a great first week of classes, or even if your classes haven't started, I hope you do have a great first week of classes whenever they start. And I hope these were of some kind of use to you guys. So I will see you all later. Mwah. Bye, my lovelies.
My neighbor's down there mowing.